You are listening to 103.5 Homeboys Radio, the urban
My name
sound
is
of
Ruby
Nairobi.
V.
Hanging out with you all the way till 10 p.m. playing you nothing but the best NKE hip hop. And as promised, I do have a guest in studio tonight. It is the last Saturday of May, and May has been Mental Health Awareness Month. So here is one rapper who is intrigued or is interested in also the mental side of things, not just the artistry side. And we have the one and only. Step up to the mic one time.
Yeah, what's poppin'?
Fress is in the building.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming through.
Uh-huh.
What's the region that you represent in this Kanairo?
I represent Komarok Phase 2.
Hey.
Yeah, that's my hood.
Stand
And
up. You,
Yeah.
besides rapping, you also do something else on the flip side, something that maybe a lot of people wouldn't expect of a bunch of rappers.
Yeah.
And what is this thing?
Mental health.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Tell me about your mental health journey.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate you and to commend you for being an advocate for
Thank you.
mental health. Yeah.
Thank you.
Not a lot of people are willing to take up such a task, so
Yeah.
big up to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I graduated last year from the University of Nairobi. I had a second class upper division.
Congrats.
And, thank you for that.
We got a small hit in the building.
Yeah. So before that, as a counseling psychologist, you have to do something that's called a practicum. It's not really an attachment or internship, but it's a practicum. This is where you get to practice what you've learned in school. Yeah, so I went to Madare Hospital. It was a period of like 2 months, and the experience was really amazing. Yeah, I was able to deal with clients from all walks of life, kids, grown men, and women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it like, getting this first-hand experience, being there with the people that you probably maybe hear about? Did you ever get to interact with extreme cases?
Not really.
Yeah.
The most extreme cases I handled was schizophrenia and depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I only did it for 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it that you learned? You said it's a practical?
Yeah, practicum.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it that you learned over there that you probably didn't learn in class or maybe didn't get in life?
The most important thing I learned is how to handle a counseling session.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in theory it's different from in reality.
How different?
In theory you just taught the book way, but when you come to a practicum,
Yeah.
it's one-on-one counseling session with the client.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that have to come in place.
Yeah.
You have to be empathetic. You have to assure the client that whatever he or she speaks about is private and confidential. Yeah.
And how did you even get interest in psychology in the first place? Like where did you get the idea that, this is a path that I'm gonna pursue and I want to be a part of, mental health advocacy?
Okay. Ever since I was young, I've always wanted to help people. My mom always said, unafosaidia watu in any way you can. So when I finished high school, I was like, what am I gonna do? And I had one option. My mom, thankfully, she didn't choose a career for me. She gave me
let you decide.
Yeah, she let me decide. So I went for counseling psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. That is hella interesting.
Thank you.
And I don't know if this is something that is gradually changing. Have you seen more people willing or embracing, these conversations around mental health, around, their triggers, maybe suicidal attempts, things like that? Do you think more people are, coming out to say that, yeah, we all have dark days and, we need to embrace them, or this is how I cope with mine? Or are people still in the bedroom, in the shadows, kind of, fearing that stigma that is associated with coming out and being truthful?
Yeah, just to be honest, I think people aren't yet willing to seek counseling.
Yeah.
There's that stigma that surrounds counseling, and it has to stop.
Yeah.
Especially in the African culture. There's a way you're seen as being weak, and not it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Because if you're feeling some type of way, maybe you're depressed, you should be free. Just talk to someone, or maybe talk to your mom.
Yeah.
He or she will look for a counselor for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it has something to do with also how expensive these services are? I mean, not everybody can afford continuous therapy sessions or counseling sessions. I think it's a little pricey.
Yeah,
That also
honest.
discourages people from being like, yo, I got real problems. I'm not gonna just go pay somebody to listen to me and pay them X amount of cash.
It is kind of pricey, so that's why most affluent people are the ones seeking counseling.
Yeah.
But people who are poor or are disadvantaged, they see it's like a waste of money.
Yeah.
They probably keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
And to spend money.
Yeah.
To go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get into, when we come back, I want to get into how we can progress this conversation from just having it online or hashtag, I care about mental health or whatever. How can we actually effect it on the ground, And fam, you are more than welcome to join in on this conversation at @etc_live is how you get to be seen and heard. Hashtag #HTC, hashtag #KHipHop. We have already said that a lot of people don't really maybe seek professional help when they need it because A, it's expensive, B, there's also a stigma. You feel like you're losing your mind or you're crazy if you have to see somebody about some of the situations that you're going through. But over and above, because that looks like more of there's a problem, so you seek help. What else can we do as a community, as a culture, as a society to make sure that the conversations that we are having are actually effective? And the reason I ask this is because Alex Mayori actually comes on the timeline and he says, as we speak about mental health, last week he attended the burial of his photographer who threw himself on a road and he got hit by a car and he passed away. Exactly. As I speak about it also, there's a close friend of mine who has attempted suicide a couple times. She's been really going through a traumatic situation. It's not been funny. And she had a relapse. She was doing great, but she had a relapse, right? And now she's in the ICU. This happened like 2 days ago. So for me, it makes me feel like, are we doing enough? Because yes, we will tell people, this is how to learn your triggers. This is what you need to do when you're at that situation. Have somebody come and help you. But then, how can we actually ensure that when you have a conversation with someone or when you give them a shoulder to lean on, that it's effective, that sticks, that before the next time they think about taking their life, they're going to holler at you or, reach out to you for some emotional support before they do anything drastic?
Okay, I think support systems are really important.
Yeah.
And when I say support systems, these are your family and your friends. So aside from seeking counseling, you are advised to, or the family or the friends are advised to make sure they try and come close to this individual to make them feel loved. And I also think we need to raise awareness. Like the government should probably have a program where we go through all counties in Kenya, trying to convince people to seek counseling in whatever they might be going through.
Massive shout out to Alex, who also says, we should have a national mental health fund separate from NHIF, and mental health should also be introduced into our education system from as early as primary school. I mean, we used to have AIDS education. I don't know why they took that out. I think that is something that should definitely be put back in. Seeing as there are rising cases of more teenage mothers and parents. I think also mental health is something that should definitely be taken seriously. I know that there's a mental health act, but I'm not sure that the effectiveness of the conversations is there. Like people are really getting out to seek the necessary help, or to see people, or to know that they shouldn't be confined if they're going through a situation where they know, I might not be that great, or, to avoid also guys relapsing as well.
Unfortunately, most of us as we were growing up, we are taught to internalize negative impulses instead of expressing them. So as you grow up with these with this negativity in you, and it really affects you.
And I think also something else that we haven't been taught growing up is we're always taught to look at the future, never to stay in the present. It's like you're in this moment. What do you want to be next time unataka kukua namba ngapi, next time utapata marks ngapi. It's not celebrate the 350 you got now as we work towards the next term. And I think that is also something that really affects mental health or our mental illnesses. I was going through some videos and they say like a lot of the causes of mental illnesses are actually outside of us. Only 2 out of probably 10 factors come from our brain, but everything else is from how we live, what we're consuming on social media. So what are some of the ways that people can maybe monitor their space and curate their space that it is safe enough for them to exist in and be their best selves without being dragged into, comparing themselves on social media or feeling like you're missing out because other people are living on social and you're broke? You probably just ate githeri for lunch and guys are out here just flexing.
I think people need to be more self-aware.
Yeah.
They need to be more introspective. This means that they need to reflect on their conscious thoughts and their feelings. That will enable them to channel whatever they might be going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips on some of the ways that guys can be more self-aware?
You can start exercising because I believe physical health goes hand in hand with mental health.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can start listening to music that you like. Or you can spend time with people who genuinely love you, your friends.
Yeah.
That
Meditation,
really
of course.
Meditation also.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into it because my mind wanders a lot, but like I'm trying to train myself to meditate. And apparently yoga also works wonders.
Yeah.
Shout out to G Money who was talking about, he's just trying to do yoga and it's really been helping him. My sister is somebody else who has also been trying yoga and it's been effective. She says even for at that beginner stage, it is something that definitely helps.
Yeah.
And since this year's theme for mental health was tools to thrive, I guess these are some of the tools to thrive. You can get like a journaling app to write some of your days where you're feeling great, where you're feeling happy. You can also acknowledge your sad days. I think the most important thing about mental health is also acknowledge that the sad feeling is there, but not becoming that feeling. You can feel the emotion, but don't let it become you.
True.
Don't let it consume you.
What I can also tell people is you shouldn't let other people's opinions of you define who you are or how you live your life.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't know if in recent times or in the near future, if we're gonna have something like a call, a line that you can call when you're in that situation. Is that something that's available now?
Not really. Maybe individual counseling psychologists.
Okay.
Like myself, I do it actually.
Oh, dope.
I gave out my number to anybody.
Oh, dope.
You can call me, text me.
So you cool with us giving your number out if someone wants to reach out to you?
Yes,
all right. For the people, one time, if you do want to holler at a trained psychologist, man, Fress is here for you. And the number that you can call is
0740 115 462. I repeat, 0740 115 462.
Definitely. I'm definitely going to be sharing that number on social too. If you feel that you're overwhelmed and you need to speak to somebody, there's definitely somebody on the other end of the line who is more than willing to share the burden with you.
Yeah, most definitely.
We're about to get into culture cuts, and this had nothing, honestly, Fress being on air tonight had nothing to do with his record on the culture cut. This was already there. It's just, we were going to do this off air, but I thought, it's a great conversation to have with everybody, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about Villenafil, 30 seconds.
Yeah, Villenafil is the first single for my 5th album. Hopefully it's going to drop this year.
Okay.
And it talks about politics, COVID, trauma, mental health,
everything. Now, fam, as someone who's involved in hip-hop culture, who's also a part of hip-hop culture, there's a lot of negative things that hip-hop is associated with. It's drugs, it's hood mentality, it's gang activities, it's sexism, misogyny. But I think in recent times we have been trying to change that narrative as far as Kenyan hip-hop is concerned. We're having avenues where we're talking about mental health. Guys have cleaned up the game. Which other ways do you think that Kenyan hip-hop or Kenyan hip-hop, not just the music, as an art, as a whole culture, can contribute to that positivity and making sure that people are in a very safe space?
Yeah, I think artists need to be more open
Yeah.
and more willing to speak about what they are going through.
Yeah.
Because when you speak about it, maybe someone else is going through the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they might learn from it,
Mm-hmm.
and they might try and change. Feel me?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. As someone who is in that space, right?
Okay.
You're everybody's doctor, but like, who's your doctor? How do you deal with your situation? Who's the person that shows up for you?
For me, it's my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's the one who's been.
Shout out, moms.
Yeah, shout out to mom. Yeah, she's been my heart and the one I could talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About anything and everything?
Not really everything, but some things. Yeah, some things. I'm not really close with my father, but
Okay.
yeah, my mom is the one for me.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Art as an outlet.
Yeah, and as a coping mechanism.
Yes.
Yeah.
How can we use that?
People are actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It has been done ever since art started.
Yes, since
Yeah.
time immemorial.
Yeah, the ability for an artist to express an emotion through a certain art form,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I have a quote I'd like to mention.
Mm-hmm.
A musician must make music, an artist must paint, a poet must write, if he or she is to be at peace with him or herself. Otherwise, he or she will be haunted by the ghost of their lost potentiality.
Wow.
Okay?
Love that.
So if you're doing art, keep doing it.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. We gotta let you go because you know
It's okay.
curfew
It's okay.
is happening. But we're so happy to have you in the studio with
Thanks
us.
so much for having me.
One more again. What is that number that guys can call?
It's 0740 115 462.
Zero. All right.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Call up Fress, man. If you're feeling like you can't just do it. You're at the very edge, or you just need somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
Private, confidential conversations,
Yes,
right?
private and confidential.
No judgment.
Unless I'm ordered by a court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, that
Court
can
of law,
happen?
yeah. Yeah, a court of law can require me to give out your file.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. The hip hop psychologist.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna give you that nickname
Thank you.
tonight, you know?
Okay.
Yes, make sure that you hit up Fress. I have just shared the contacts on social media. You go ahead, if you don't have anybody to talk to, there is a number on there that you can call up as soon as like now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Fress will be there to holler at you, man. Salimia watu wa Common Face 2 tukiendanga.
Yeah, nataka nisalimie my mom pale Kef, nataka nisalimie my homie Sonoe, my friend Leo, Seth, jeshi yote ya Face 2. Even though